Good morning, good morning. So I'm sitting outside just taking in the ocean, looking at the clouds and how oddly they are formed and shaped, which is creating their magic and their beauty. And I'm reflecting on a moment that I had last night that was deeply disappointing and hurtful to myself. And I realized that that moment was giving me the opportunity to choose me and choose my body and listen to my body and be for my body in a way that I normally would have pushed my body to limits that it should not go. And most of you don't know that most of my life I have deeply been in disconnect with my body. And for many years, doing the spiritual work, doing the wellness practices, owning my own business, I've always taught the mind-body spiritual connection is so important. But a lot of the time, I focus on the ascension, the ethereal. The place that is the most familiar for me is the spirit realm. Whereas the physical realm and the physical materials of life have not been anything that I have really focused on. But without the grounding sensation of the physical body and the physical earth plane, we cannot be in balance spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially. And so over the last year, really deeply connecting to my body and the way that it responds and the way that it feels to even my intuitive cues have become training ground for me. And last night was one of those moments that I got to powerfully choose, even if it was going to be uncomfortable, to choose my body. And my first thought was to say, what is wrong with you? Why aren't you responding? Why aren't you pushing harder? Why aren't you working harder? And I got that the message is because that's not for me. I'm in a season where my body does not want to push. My spirit does not want to fight. My energy does not want to go raw. It absolutely wants to rest. It wants to give me the permission to allow my brain the opportunities to choose full trust, gentleness, softness. And instead of asking myself the typical question, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you working? Why aren't you performing? I just decided to lay down, put my hand over my heart, my left hand, to be specific, over my heart, my receiving hand, and put my right hand over my belly. And I said, what message are you trying to translate to me right now? And the message was not now. The message was don't fight, don't push, just rest. Just connect, just breathe. We are going through rapid changes in the universe. The energy of the world is rough. It's heavy, it's dense. It's falling apart in order to fall into place. But what that looks like energetically can feel deeply uncomfortable to the body. The body is constantly picking up signals from our environment, from, subconscious cues, from other people's energy, from our own subconscious thoughts and feelings. And the body is just responding in the most subtle ways sometimes, but sometimes even the message can be loud in the body, like mine was last night. Full stop. And the purpose is to understand why. Not just make yourself wrong, not just to make myself wrong, but to say I honor my body and I honor myself in this space to not push. Because what I'm asking for the most in my life in this season right now is to be deeply connected spiritually, not just to the ethereal ascension process that has me in the woo-woo, which is a place that I know, reside, and love. but to get deeply connected to the ground, the earth, the physical, tangible, undeniable presence of spirit on this earth plane that becomes the bridge to the spirit realm in the physical. What I never really realized is being disconnected from my body meant being fully disconnected from my spirit in the way that manifested powerfully with intention. Sometimes we ask, why are things happening to us instead of asking what is happening for us. And when you're disconnected to the body, you think that things are out of your control when they're not. But when you're connected to your body and you're connected to the ways that your body is signaling you to slow down or speed up or speak or don't talk, that is a powerful magnet and force for your most conscious manifestations to take root and to take place. And so I say that all to say, I was proud of myself. I was proud of myself for doing something that was deeply uncomfortable. I allowed myself to say no. I allowed myself the complete and total freedom to not push, to not fight, to not tell my body that it can do miraculous, Herculean hurdles in life. And I honored the softness that I said I wanted to live inside of. Because as a spiritual being, we have to go with the flow. And right now, so many of us spiritual beings are called to be soft, slow, energetic, in order to create the deepest impacts in the world as it is turning upside down. Because true spirituality and true ascension doesn't just come from the ethereal. It comes from the grounded nature of this physical plane and how we harness. True ascension comes from deeply connecting both the physical plane and the spiritual plane and making them one within ourselves. And that is the most powerful lesson. You cannot neglect any part of you and expect to be in full balance and full power. And honoring the no sometimes is the hardest thing in the world to do, but it is the most important. That's all. Be love, be beautiful, and have an amazing day.